when you're raising your kids, you have to keep rewarding them. Slowly, you have to reduce the amount of reward. And sometimes not even reward them when they do hard work. So they learn how to build this resilience in the real world. Otherwise, they go in the real world, and the first two times people don't reward them, they go flat and they never pick up again. They become average workers when they were really smart workers, because you didn't help build resilience inside them that shit happens. Delayed gratification is a necessary part of humanity. Why? Because we have so many projects happening all at the same time. You can't keep rewarding everyone with doggy biscuits all the time. Even you cannot do that. Even you don't do that, but you expect it in return. Selfish like crazy. People are selfish like crazy. The people that say, I didn't get enough reward, you ask them, did you give enough thanks and reward to people that helped you? No. Why should I do that? People should give me that. All selfish thinking. That's why we have to counter all this stupid thinking, all this selfish thinking, all this uncivilized thinking with a simple Bhagavad Gita rule. Do your best, leave the rest, don't argue with it.
So this is in the field of if you are a student or if you're
all the way.
All the way means even relationships.
All the way till you're 89 years old.
if we live to that, well, most of the people are living now.
After that, you can be a little bit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Meaning, you have to do your best your whole life. Expect delayed gratification. And your reward should be enough that I did my best. If you have negotiated that if I do a good job, I get paid, then you go get paid. You fight for it. Right? That's part of negotiation. That's different. But even there, your reward first was this, and then that is just part of your contract fulfillment. That's not the reward. That payment you're getting, that money you're getting that's just contract fulfillment. I did all this work. I fulfill my part of the contract. You fulfill your part of the contract. We're good. How I spend the money, even if I don't need the money, that's none of your business. Right? So leave that separate. This rule still applies. Do your best, leave the rest. Still applies even though you're getting a salary or being paid on a contract basis. That's not your reward. The world keeps telling you that, earning money is the reason. That's just contract fulfillment. Meaning, I negotiate a good salary and I earn it. That's it. That's not that means, say you become so wealthy that your kids don't have to work. What will your kids be told when they're growing up? Hey, you don't need to work. Your dad is so wealthy. And that kid becomes a nightmare. So when you become wealthy, your number one problem is preventing other people from messing up your children, who will constantly be being told, you don't need to work. Your dad's already working. No, you don't work for money. You work for identity. You work for the ability to reduce your ego to nothing. Where you need karm bhumi. You need a place to practice the experiential learning to make your ego zero. That's why you work. For identity, for self-identity, for finding your true self. That's why you work. You need karm bhumi. And if anyone tells your kids that, you should ban those people from talking to your kids.
But Sandeep, I'm hearing a lot of these kids, the present, like our next generation.
Yeah.
All for money. If I'm getting a job here which pays me more, I'm going to go for it. And if I'm going to work in this field for some time and then go to another company for a higher...
They're not procrastinating taking that new job.
They're gathering the experience.
Now they're jumping. That's not
right?
Yeah. Okay, I get it. But yeah, you're right. Because this generation, or every generation in different ways, is taught the wrong relationship with money. Our generation, and my dad's generation, we were also taught, and they were also taught the wrong relationship with money. And our younger generation is also taught the wrong relationship with money. So you expect this is what happens. The right relationship with money and work is what I just said. Work is karam bhumi. This is my opportunity to find my true identity. Of course, I must negotiate something for survival or better survival, right? That depends on my skill level and my market demands and needs, right? My value depends on market, not on me, right? So, yeah, I negotiate what's a fair thing. Fair is fair, but you don't work for money. More money doesn't make your ego more civilized, more elevated. If you only work for money in the sense of more power, right? Money is power, resources, then you are already in the school of Ravan. You belong to Ravan University. Because all I want is more power, and then I'll be more respected. No, the poor guy had to die. Had to be killed, not just die. Everybody has to die. He had to be killed for his crimes. So you want to belong to that university? Have fun. Your life will be as meaningless. Yeah, have fun. That's not how you work. Okay. All right. So past failure and failure of other people, someone else taking recognition, someone blaming you. I forgot that one. Someone blaming you for the action you did gives you a sense, why should I take action? That's another one. There's 4. So these 4 cause futility. The 4th one is, I take good action with good intention and someone else blames me that I messed something up. I didn't mess it up. This was the job. This was my understanding. I cleared it with 2 or 3 people. Someone asked me to do it. So I did it exactly the way I was taught, or pretty much the way I understood it. And if you're going to blame me, you say, yes, I take the blame. That's the way to counter that. Yes, it's my fault that I did what I was asked to do. Then they say, okay, then who asked you to do it? Your boss. But it's my fault. I did what I was asked to do. You can blame me. And the guy will immediately say, hot potato, I can't blame you because now I'm blaming the boss. And my boss, I'm not going to blame my boss because then I'm fired. Right? So that is the way you handle that. I'm doing what I did the right thing. And I take blame for it. When you take blame for something, you get credit for doing the right thing. A person who's not willing to take blame for doing what they did cannot get credit for doing the good thing.
That's a very nice sentence you said, Sandeep. I think giving credit to the right person at the right time is very important. And I've seen around me that a lot of people forget that. They don't want to.
Because of selfishness.
Yeah.
Because it's more convenient just to ignore a powerless person. You talked about that earlier. If someone powerless does a good job, we don't give them credit because what's he going to do? But someone powerful does a little bit of work, we give them lots of credit. Why? Because we have something more to gain by pleasing this guy. Right? So people are transactional at a very shallow level. Okay. But here we're talking about futility. One of the causes of futility is you being blamed and you not knowing how to deal with the blame. So you do the wrong processing in your head and you end up with futility as your net conclusion. And now you're a procrastinator because you think, what's the point? Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have so this covers the science behind why we'll end up in this problem. And now we need to talk about how we can feel like doing the right thing. Feel like doing what needs to be done. Okay. So first is that you need to analyze your history of events and results and come to the right conclusions that allows you to have a positive feeling based on your actions. Meaning, when we get burnt, like say I did something and I got blamed 2-3 times, but 10 times I didn't get blamed, or 100 times I didn't get blamed. We remember the blame part so badly, we forget the 100 times where nobody blamed you, people gave you credit. So you forget, because this one had a much higher emotional impact. Meaning, you have to recognize one more limitation of human memory. Human memory is not a straight line memory. It's an emotional memory. Any event that happens with high emotion attached to it becomes a bigger memory. Any event that happens with low emotion or no emotion becomes a smaller memory. Okay. Meaning, the experience of time for human beings is not linear. The experience of time is emotional. We both drove from our different houses to the studio, right? Do we remember what happened in the drive? No, we just drove. How many white cars did we see? How many red cars? How many cop cars? How many red lights did we stop at? Nothing. Non-event. It was just a drive. Nothing. So that becomes a small, nothing emotional happened in that drive. It becomes a small memory. It becomes almost zero. Don't even remember. Right? Say while I was driving, somebody gave me some really good news. Then that conversation becomes big memory. The drive is still zero. Right? Our experience of time is like that. Which means what? Which means that you have to go back and analyze your history and remember, try to put a positive understanding by saying hundreds of times when I did the thing, I got credit for it. Sometimes I got blamed. Sometimes I got bad credit. Sometimes I got no credit. Somebody else took it. But most of my time I did get credit. And the few times when it didn't work out, it was because I wasn't paying full attention or something, and somebody else was being nasty and they should have been a better person. Right? Now I have to change my relationship with them so they learn not to be that kind of a bad person around me. So that education opportunity came up. I didn't analyze it that way. I just analyzed, oh, bad person, I hate that. No. When someone close to you does something bad, that's an education opportunity for you. Right? Because you didn't just become a good civilized person unless somebody made effort to civilize you. Okay, this is called debt, personal debt. Right? People helped you become a better person. Now you owe it to help other people become better. In fact, we are thinking of a session on the 3 debts or the 3
Rin.
Yeah, Rin, but I want to say the 3 gratitudes that we are born with. Right? The 3 debts or the 3 gratitudes that human beings are born with, and we'll talk about that at the time. But for now, go back into your history and try to remember all the times when right things happened and the right praise was given, right credit was given to energize you to be a positive person. That's one. Second is, if you constantly keep hoping for positive reward instantly after you do the work, you will have a lot of failure memory. Meaning, if you do not learn delayed gratification early enough in your life, your memory of your events and your effort will be full of failure, because nobody can give you instantaneous reward for everything you do. Only you can do that by saying, I did a good job, that's my reward.